Dalby and Wombo Shire, at the hub of it all. The junction of three major highways, the hub of a strategic north, south, east and west transport network. Yes, the Dalby-Wombo region truly is the hub of Eastern Australia. Located just 2.5 hours from Brisbane's ports, international airports and other specialist services, Dalby is the largest Queensland town inland of the range. Central to the world's premium farming area, the Darling Downs, with deep fertile soils and an ideal temperate climate, yields a fortune in high-value grain and fibre crops. Dalby and the surrounding Wombo Shire are home to one of Australia's busiest livestock markets, 2 huge cotton gins, and one of the state's largest grain receival depots. Every year, hundreds of thousands of hectares of grain crops are grown under dry land and irrigated conditions. Tens of thousands of hectares are planted to cotton annually. Millions of bales of high-value Australian cotton.
66.
Each week, almost 5,000 head of prime Australian beef cattle are marketed to discerning buyers through the Dalby Sale Yard, the largest one-day cattle selling centre in Australia. Several large sawmilling operations produce thousands of tonnes of prime hardwood each year. As well, smaller niche markets are emerging. Annually, millions of tonnes of premium quality coal is extracted for domestic and export markets. Dalby's strong service, manufacturing and distribution base supports the extensive network of agricultural and extractive industries throughout Queensland and further afield. Manufacturers have seen the vitality and centrality of the area as fundamental to their success and choose to base their operations here also. Yes, hundreds of millions of dollars of valuable export income. State and federal government departments, along with many service companies, choose to base their regional headquarters in Dalby. And still to be realised is the enormous potential for information technology businesses. All these businesses' activities feed into a transport infrastructure that is second to none. At the hub of the Moonee, Bunya and Warrego highways, the production from the region's industry is carried to the world by major freight lines. It's less than an hour to Toowoomba and 2.5 hours or 200 kilometres to Brisbane by road. Air freight arrives and departs from the all-weather airstrip daily, and general and containerised freight is handled through a modern rail depot. Several coach services and tour operators pass through the Dalby region daily. With over 10,000 tourists visiting tourist information centres at Dalby, Jandowae and Bell each year, the area sits on the very edge of a new tourism frontier. Exciting plans exist for a number of multi-million-dollar developments. A large artesian spa complex to attract health-conscious people, some 3.5 million of them that live just a couple of hours to the east. And also a state-of-the-art ethanol biorefinery to turn grain crops into a sustainable fuel source for industry. Yes, Dalby does represent exciting opportunities for recreational, industrial, commercial, service and educational businesses.
I'm going to copy this over here.
When it comes to education and training, Dalby has much to offer. Several state and private schools, a TAFE college and an agricultural college.
The open set of circuit meters of the pump.
The Dalby Ag College has forged a reputation for developing high-quality graduates. It's known Australia-wide for its practical, hands-on and job-focused training. Dalby's modern central business district offers a full complement of retail outlets and major chain stores. Health services consist of a well-equipped hospital supported by a modern medical centre. Wondering about housing? From affordable housing allotments to secluded acreage living or even modern strata-titled units, it is all available here. The area is the birthplace of many well-known sporting identities. Excellent facilities and high participation rates are evidence of the area's competitive nature. The region delivers a stable workforce with a strong rural work ethic.
Queensland Australia is based in Dalby because historically this is where the company started. But that's not the reason we stay here. First and foremost, we stay here because of good staff who have a work ethic. And from experience, we find that in the country we can find people with a good work ethic that is more difficult to find in the city. Secondly, because of technology and all the advances with the internet and these type of things, we find that we can perform as a national company here in Dalby and still get to enjoy the lifestyle, the intimate lifestyle of the country. Finally, we can guarantee that we can provide overnight service out of Dalby to all major Australian and New Zealand centres.
As a national company, we set up in Dalby purely because of its position in Australia and the type of staff we could get. Dalby's halfway between Melbourne and Cairns, so it's very central in Australia. The staff with a country attitude are a lot easier to get along with. We look after them, they look after us.
For obvious reasons, many discerning professionals choose to base their operations in Dalby. Dalby and Wombo councils have developed fully serviced industrial estates, which provide the ideal environment for business infrastructure.
Dalby and Wombo Shire Council are totally committed to attracting new industries and development to the region, and that's why we have put the infrastructure in place to facilitate these industries.
Visit the Dalby Town and Wombo Shire websites. They're packed with additional information about this exciting region. Then contact the councils directly for your specific requirements.
We're fair dinkum. Call the Dalby Wombo councils right now and find out why the Dalby Wombo region is the ideal place for your next move.
At the hub of Eastern Australia, the Dalby Wombo region represents the best of both worlds, city conveniences and a relaxed country lifestyle. Talk about location, location, location. It's the ideal location, a hub of Eastern transport networks, close to the ports and airports of Brisbane. It's also the heart of some of the best farming country in the world, a centre of rural excellence. It's a dynamic community driven to sensible development with a can-do attitude and abundant natural resources. A safe, secure and relaxed lifestyle and a broad-based, buoyant economy. Yes, the Dalby Wombo region truly is the hub of Eastern Australia.